To complement the wire pulling steps in this sim, let's take a look at an actual install and follow the steps. It's going to turn out that it's going to be quite close to exactly what we show in the simulation. The whole process begins just like we show, with the fish tape going in at the LB up at the roof penetration. You've got the end of the fish tape, and it gets pushed down into the LB, and just gets continually pushed all the way down, all the way through all the DC conduit, down to the conduit body at the inverter. Then we wait down on the ground at the inverter conduit body and wait for that end to be pushed out, and there it is, gets pushed out. You pull it out of the conduit body, and now you've got the end of the fish tape. You can attach your wires to it. Now comes the process of pulling the wires off the wire spool caddy and connecting them to the end of that fish tape. In this particular install, there's one string, so there's one ground, one red, and one black. The electrician strips off the insulation off the green and now slips it on to the end of the fish tape. So there's the beginning, there's the initial hook on. And then what we're going to look for here is that staggering process as well, where the red and the black are not all bundled up right at the end along with the green ground wire, but you can see the ends have been staggered out a bit. The black further out, the red a little bit closer, and he's going to use electrician tape, wrap those on. You can see how they're staggered out, so they don't make just one big bump, but make sort of a staggered stair-step approach with the tape once it's all wrapped around all the wires, and then continue wrapping all the way up to the hook end of the fish tape.
I see. Match the bend to the beginning of the first one. Smooth.
The wrapping just continues all the way up to the hook end of the fish tape. The tape's going to go over that hooking end device, and then he's actually going to wrap the tape all the way back down what he just did. So it's a double wrapping of the tape. You can see how he's going back down over what he just wrapped up.
Brian!
Now that we got the wires all wrapped onto the end of the fish tape, now it's time to pull it in. So call up to the guy up on the roof. He starts pulling the fish tape out, up at the roof, and the electrician snakes the wrapped end of the wires up into the LB down at the inverter, and then continues pulling them off, pulling the wires off of the wire spool caddy while they're being drawn up by another person up at the roof penetration on the roof. That process continues because there's a long way to pull until you finally get the wires pulled out of that conduit body up at the roof penetration. Then what you can do is actually cut off the wires from the fish tape so that you work with just the end that you've pulled out now. You can let go of the fish tape. And now you reinsert the wires back in with a nice big loop and start moving it on to the next stage of your conduit on the roof. You could either use fish tape again to pull it, or in this case you can just push it because it's a short distance. And you keep pushing until you've reached the end of where you want to go. Then you can stuff the wires back down into the conduit body, and you're done with your DC wire pull.
Hey, thanks for watching the training video using Interplay's simulation-based training program. You can keep watching our solar videos by clicking on the link to your left, or stay up to date on our latest solar snacks by subscribing on your right. To learn more about how the STP provides critical team training and helps you build an onboarding program at your company, please go to interplaylearning.com.